Collecting data is like herding sheep. If you don't keep it healthy, it's going to wander off, it's going to cause chaos, and it's going to leave a whole mess for you to clean up. Every wrong tag, every duplicate record in your CRM leads to confusion, and poor data leads to missed messages. It leads to billing errors, and it leads to unhappy clients. And this can happen really fast. Especially if you have an AI agent working in the background where you don't actually know or you're not tracking what they're doing. This can be a rude awakening later, which is a new problem, but I have seen this a couple of times. So just throwing that out there, may want to just put it, just think about it for a second. We're here to assess your data. So here are 4 things that you can look at when it comes to your current data in your business and how to actually figure out if how your data is being tracked, maintained, and regularly cleaned is actually the best way for you to do this. So the first one is you need to define what good data looks like for your business. And obviously a few things are, it's complete, it's accurate, it's relevant. Now, a really easy way to do this is to have data validation, meaning the number of times I did data migrations where I was fixing emails from .con with an N to .com. And if a simple data validation rule existed in that field, then the client never would have been able to submit the simple typo in the first place. And the problem is, since no one is going back and double checking that that email is actually correct, then all you're going to see on your marketing side is undeliverable, or it's going to say bounced or something of that sort. And you're going to go, oh, people are just giving us bad emails. No, they had a simple typo. And so if you don't have a regulation system to mitigate human error, because that's kind of a thing, then you're going to have dirty data. So your data, is it complete? Is it accurate? Is it relevant? And do you have checks and balances for when the data is given to you by clients and also when your data is actually inputted by your employees? So the second thing is you need to create a data ranch system where all of your info actually lives and is cleaned. So I also call this one source of truth. The reality is that if you have a marketing platform and a sales platform and a service platform and a support platform, all of these different platforms actually have really relevant data for not only you, but your business and your customers. So what happens when all of these different softwares operate in silos and they're not actually updating each other? Well, then you do duplicate work. You do slower work. You do work based on inaccurate decisions because you don't have real-time information. So one source of truth means that you've determined which platform has all of these other platforms feeding information so that you're able to, as the CEO, as the COO, as the CTO, as anybody in your business, you're able to actually make high level and quality business decisions because you know the data that you're looking at is not only real-time accurate, it's also from all of your different departments fed into one place. So the third one is automating validation. Now, we touched on this a little bit in the first one, but really it is you can use tools, and AI is going to make this exceptionally easier in the future. And this is a good thing for an AI agent to do, where an AI agent would go in and flag duplicates or flag missing info or flag typos. And it would actually go in and assess and audit what your data not only currently looks like, but it would actually go in and fix your data in the back end so that you actually don't have to do it. And in the case of the typo from .con to .com, then the AI agent or whatever tool you have running in the background would have automatically fixed that, and you never would have had a bounced email in the first place. So having automated data validation and fixing, quick fixes in the background is going to not only save you time, but it's also going to make you money, because imagine how many people put .con instead of .com and it's just the simplest typo, but you literally can't sell this person anything because nobody ever went back to look and make sure that they actually put their email in correctly. Think about that. Think about how many potential typos you have, even on an email, if somebody transposed two letters or anything. So the fourth tip is scheduling regular cleanups, either monthly or even weekly, just depending on how much data you have coming into your business. Now, the reality is the number of businesses I've done data migrations for, where I was spending hours and hours and hours on end cleaning their data. When I asked them how often they clean their data, the answer was 0. So there's a very real possibility you're watching this video and you've never once in your life even thought about going and cleaning your data, or even setting up validation rules to automatically clean your data. So you're not alone on this. And I can tell you from nearly a decade of doing this, not only is cleaning data not sexy, but nobody wants to do it. So you're not going to actually convince me that you're doing this unless you give me proof, because I have pretty much a decade worth of experience that tells me otherwise, because this is not a fun task. I promise you that. But the money is in your clean data. The money is in systems that actually values the data you collect from your marketing, from your lead nurturing, all of that. So remember, clean data is the foundation of every great onboarding system. It's the foundation for every great marketing system. It's the foundation for every great sales system. And it's how your teams stay in sync and how your clients actually feel remembered and cared about, and not just a number on a spreadsheet. If you want to see, though, if your data quality really is the problem in your business and if it's helping or hurting any of your business systems, then feel free to take my free health tech score assessment. It takes you about 5 minutes, but there are 4 pillars in business. And if data quality is not the one that you're struggling with, then it might be the next one. So that's going to be linked here, and I'll see you there.